Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to our October board meeting. If everyone would stand and face a flag, if you've got one, I'll lead us in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next is acceptance of the agenda. Do we need to add the driver's ed?
It's already
on there. Okay.
It's already there.
Yeah, I remember now. Anyway, can I have a motion to accept the agenda?
I make a motion to accept the agenda at this time.
Second that motion, Mr. Chair.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the agenda as printed. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next is Ahoskie Elementary School update. Dr. Wright.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, first and foremost, really pleased with the progress of the new Ahoskie Elementary School. We are in what is called the rough wall phase and just about finished with everything on the first floor. And then the second floor construction is also being constructed, the classroom wing on the second floor, underway. Floors have been poured and so forth. We're also, though, very appreciative for the opportunity to showcase our progress. We did that on October 22nd. At that meeting, were members of the Board of Education, county commissioners, the Ahoskie Town Council, some of our Herbert County Schools employees, as well as members from A.R. Chesson, the construction company, and SFLA, the architectural firm. It was a great meeting. I think everybody left there with some smiles. Everybody got an opportunity to view the floor plan. We also have updated floor plans that are now located here in our district office that include the auditorium. And speaking of the auditorium, the ground is being surfaced and layered for the construction of the auditorium. The footings for that portion of the building forward within the next couple of weeks, and then we'll go on and on and on. We're going to sign off on the auditorium documents today to get that underway. But everything is on schedule. It is absolutely on schedule right now for the school to be open in August of 2021. Very, very, very excited about it and the process. I know it's been a long time coming for our community and our county and our region, and we're just looking forward to the great things ahead. It was great to watch the principal of Ahoskie. That was actually her first time on a new site, and just watching her, as well as the assistant principal, and their smiles about it. We're really excited because we know that once we get it up, our enrollment is going to continue to increase as it has actually done this school year. So.
That's great. Any comments about the new school? All right, next on the agenda is the bulletin boards. Ms. Parker.
Chair, before there's one more thing I forgot. We mentioned this briefly the other day, Mr. Chair, but I am certainly grateful to everyone who had a hand in allowing us to get that project done and underway. Specific shout out to the county commissioners as well as our Board of Education for working collaboratively, not just to get the school itself, but also get the whole project. And I don't think we can say it enough. We're getting a $21 million building for $6 million. So thanks to the hard work of those two groups in particular. All right, I'm ready.
And I'd like to thank, the state superintendent who awarded us the grant.
Yes.
And also to, Bob Steinberg for his work and anyone else that was involved with that. Cause I tell you, that's the biggest bang for your buck we've had in Hertford County in a long time. So I'm mighty pleased just to be a portion of it.
Good morning, Chair Shields, board members, and Dr. Wright. We would like to thank Early College High School for the bulletin board this month, and the principal is Mrs. Lindsay Britt, and the creators of the board are Kenyatta Moore, which is the biology and earth and environment science teacher, and Christina Sam Smith, who is their instructional assistant. The board that's in the lobby, it states, learning is a bushel of fun. And on that board, they indicated different departments in our school district, along with our superintendent, along with the board members, coaches, assistant superintendent. So they acknowledge all of the apples that make our district. Also in the boardroom, the board says thankful, blessed, and grateful. And we are so thankful that we are teaching our kids virtually, along with all the other strategies that we are using this year in order for them to be educated. Thank you.
There's also 13 turkeys on that thing. I'm not sure who that represents, but I just want everybody to know. Ms. Brett, I'm not sure whether you're trying to tell us something or not, but anyway. Next on the agenda is consideration of the minutes for September the 28th and October the 12th.
I make a motion to approve the, minutes for September 28th and October the what?
12.
24.
12.
12.
Second that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded, that we approve the minutes as written. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now, next is 3.1, driver's ed. Dr. Wright?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I have before you, you've received information concerning, and I have before you a recommendation for us to begin behind the wheel instruction. This instruction will be limited to 2 students and 1 instructor at a time. Masks will be worn by participants both at the driving site and while in the car, as well as all other specific sanitation guidelines for during the driving and also between driving, as well as attestation forms being completed by the instructor and parents for students daily during this. And so the recommendation is that we approve being able to get going with that.
Okay, I need a motion to start back in the driving portion of driver's ed.
Mr. Chair, this is Dr. Sharon. I want to move that we restart the behind the wheel drive education as long as the DPI requirements and recommendations for social distancing and sanitation procedures are followed and adhered to.
Second it.
It's been properly moved and seconded. The only discussion I'd like, is it only gonna be 1 car, or is it gonna be more than 1 vehicle? Or do you know? Dr. Wright?
To my knowledge, we only have 1 car. I can certainly get that information and get to the board, but I don't think we have a 1 car.
Okay. All right. There's a motion on the floor that we, start, the behind the wheel, driver's ed training. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is, quality professionals. Wanda Curry is gonna come and tell us.
And everyone. We have section 4.1, resignations, transfers, change of positions for your approval. For your information, I'm sorry. Section 4.2, certified recommendations, Shadell Smallwood replacing Kayla Smith-Webb. Classified recommendations, Ben Anthony replacing Maria Williams.
You hear the request coming from, the administration for the, certified and classified staff?
I make a motion to approve the recommendation by administration for certified and classified staff.
Second motion.
Been properly moved and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And we also have section 4.3, additional employment for your approval.
I make a motion to approve the additional employment.
Second that motion, Mr. Chair.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the additional employment. All those any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Front door.
Okay.
And lastly, we have the, coaching supplements revisions for your approval.
Can I have a motion to approve the revised, coaching, supplement as stated or highlighted for the high school and the middle school?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the coaching supplements for the high school and middle school that's provided by administration.
Second.
And properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we're 5.1, budget resolution. Ms. Martin? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Shields, members of the board, and Dr. Wright. You have before you the budget resolution for the year ending June 30th, 2021. Total revenues and expenditures of $41,003,507. The budget is based on a decrease in ADM of 85 students. It includes local fund balance appropriation of $1,515,000. Other local current expense fund balance of $650,130. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Ms. Martin about budget, about the budget amendment? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, Dr. Sharon, I make a motion we approve the budget recommendation provided for us.
Second.
And properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed? Any questions for Ms. Martin?
Yes,
Ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, Wendell, I have one question, if I may, for Ms. Martin.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Martin, how much money did we get in the gear funding? And where is that, on the budget line item to be used for?
The gear funding, we've not received that allotment yet. That will be a separate amendment. Some of the COVID funds are still being allocated to us, and we've not received that one yet. And that would be in the
How much is the gear funding for Hertford County? You received a printout on that, I hope.
I have not seen it.
Well, I'll have it then, okay. So you have not seen the gear funding allocation. Mr. Superintendent,
Yes, sir.
have you heard anything about the gear funding?
Just that. I've heard about it, but I've not seen an allocation sheet yet either. No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we've heard about it. Been talking about it for a little bit here, but as Ms. Martin said, they're kind of slow on getting that stuff to us. From what we've experienced, I mean, I think you all are receiving that information, rightfully so, way before we are. Yeah.
And that will be,
I guess my question then is, well, you can't, if you know anything about it, how are we going to use it? But if you don't know anything about it, then you can't say how you're going to use it, I guess. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Mr. Shields,
Yes.
I do have a question for Ms. Martin. Ms. Martin, I didn't quite get all that you said about the reductions. The budget resolution, did that reflect a reduction of 81 students you said?
85 students, yes, sir. That's
Eight-
allotted ADM from DPS.
Right, okay, right. ADM reduction 85. Thank you so much.
Any other questions for Ms. Martin? Thank you, Ms. Martin. Next is Superintendent's report. Dr. Rice?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, members of the board. First and foremost, we're asking that you continue to keep the Carter Owens, as well as the Hertford County Public Schools family in your thoughts and prayers for the loss of our dear coworker and friend, Mariette Nisi is her nickname. I didn't know that until a couple of days ago. Carter Owens, who was a 5th grade teacher at Riverview Elementary School. She entered into eternal rest on October 14th. Personal story really quickly. Ms. Owens and some of her students won a contest a while back. And I'll never forget, before COVID, I want to make sure everybody knows that it was before COVID, she gave me the biggest hug the superintendent's probably ever received. Just really thankful and grateful that her students had a measure of success and certainly made it all about her. So we certainly are mourning her loss, and you certainly don't want to lose anybody, but she was one of the better ones, and so we certainly ask that you could join us in prayer and thoughts for the family. Also this weekend, Mr. Jerome Solomon, who is at the CS Brown High School STEM school, works in our alternative learning program. He was involved in a car accident on Saturday, October 10th. The oncoming car had a blowout. The driver lost control and caused a head-on collision with Mr. Solomon and his children. The main impact was to the left side of the vehicle. I've got some pictures here. We'll try to get those forwarded to the board, but they are. It is amazing that Mr. Solomon is still with us. I'll just say that for sure. He was in surgery for 7 hours this past Saturday. and is recovering, still with us, talking, responding. So we'll just ask that you keep Mr. Solomon in your thoughts and prayers as he recovers. This October is National Principals Month. We are excited about the opportunity to celebrate 7 of the best leaders in the state. We have wonderful principals at each of our schools. Superintendent is very proud of the work that they do every day. And National Principals Month is an opportunity to express our appreciation for that visionary leadership and tireless pursuit of success for each student. Our principals have the unique challenge of guiding and supporting our schools in ways large and small every day, and particularly right now. And I'm not sure that the general public really understands the challenge of leading in this pandemic when you're having to make decisions about how you still continue to educate children. And I heard something this morning that I want to correct. I heard on the news this morning that some children in another district were returning to school or going to school or whatever it is. And we want to be clear, what that means is in-person learning, because school has been taking place since August. And principals are at the lead of that charge, but certainly our teachers have been facilitating learning and continuing to grow our students academically. So hats off to our principals. Thank you from the superintendent's desk for all that you do and continue to do. And it is my plan to see each of you before the end of this week to let you know in person how much I think of you and the work that you do. We're also at the end of our first 9 weeks, and report cards at various stages are being distributed, have been distributed, are being distributed, and most of our students are seeing great success. I was a part of a conversation over the weekend with a teacher, not named Deontay Wright, so it wasn't him, it was somebody else, who was telling me that the challenge, of course, is getting and keeping students focused. And in some cases, students are actually more focused because of the attraction of the internet. So be interesting to see how those things continue to progress. And then lastly, Mr. Chair, members of the board, today is a wonderful day in my life. It is my 54th birthday today. And considering, and I'll keep this really brief, but considering the challenges that year 53 gave to me, and I feel blessed, first of all, to be able to celebrate my 54th birthday. And I've got a personal slogan that I won't necessarily put on the school district, but certainly is appropriate for me, and it's one that I'm going to carry. And that's simply 54 and beyond, I expect it to be better than ever. Thank you. That's what I've got.
All right. Mr. Howard, you want to give us an update on the state board?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Really no update other than not a real update, because it seems like the news are slow in moving. But one thing that the board was involved in this past was a virtual presentation by Dr. Ann McCall. And as you know, the state board now has gone on record of making equity a part of our major focus as the state board goes about providing services for students, K-12 students across the state. Dr. McCall did a presentation that brought to mind how far we have come in public education from the beginning up until where we are. Her presentation was based upon the state constitution. Let it be known that when this great state was first formed, education for all was not real. There were laws that prevented it, and there were governors of the past governors who supported it. And it really brought to mind just what we need to do when it comes to equity. and how to provide services and opportunities for all students. Mr. Chairman and fellow board members, sometime in the near future, I would hope that we would go on record with a resolution, a policy supporting equity and what it is. It's not about being equal, it's about opportunities for all. And with that said, we'll meet again next week to talk about different things. That's what I was concerned about, those GEAR funds and some other things that's coming down the pike. But anyway, thank you so much. But I do think we need to move with a policy that talks about equity for Hereford County Public Schools. It's needed. It really is needed. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, board members, for listening to me. I won't bore you with the details of what went on. Nothing major as far as board action this past month. Thank you, sir.
Still took 2 days, didn't it?
It took 3. We waited 3 days.
Woo!
Yeah.
Mr. Deloach?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Shields. I don't have much to say. I just wanted to follow up with what the superintendent said about our principals. I certainly want to thank them also for their leadership and for all that they do for our children. Sometimes people don't know what principals go through, and so certainly we understand the challenges that they have. So I want to thank them for all that they do. And thank everybody for what they do in these hard times and difficult times. And also to say to our superintendent, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
That's good. Ms. Porter?
I'd like to send out my thoughts, prayers to the Marsh family, the Carter and Owens family, and also to Mr. Solomon. Mr. Marsh and I worked together for years at the middle school. He was, I know he worked over 30 at least I think. He's a very dedicated teacher, and the students, he had a great rapport with all of the students there, and I've heard a lot about him since his passing from students. He just had a connect with parents, students, and his fellow co-workers. Also, Miss Carter was a very dedicated teacher, and I think she worked up until just about the end, didn't she, Dr. Wright? And I send my condolences out to her and hope that Mr. Solomon continues to get better. Also, to all of the principals, I thank you for a job well done, not only this year, but in years past. Your job looks easy, but it's not. And you take it with stride, and you're proud of your work. I appreciate everything that you have done this year and all years. So thank you for your leadership, and I hope you have a great month with appreciation. Dr. Bright, happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday, and I hope you many to come. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Parker said to your earlier question, Monday. She worked up until the Monday before she passed. Is that right? Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
I knew it was just about up until that day.
Yes, ma'am.
Dedication. Thank you.
Dr. Sharon?
Thank you, Mr. Shields. Mr. Superintendent, I want to say happy birthday to you. 54, you're still young, and your best days are ahead of you. And if you ever get a chance to retire, you can come back and tell me that I said so. But happy birthday to you. Wishing you many more. I do want to say to all of our principals, in the 2 years that I've been on this board, I have really seen the work that you all do, and so my hat is off to all of our principals. I think you all are doing a great job, and just want to let y'all know that we thank you, and that this is your National Appreciation Month. Enjoy it. I think all of the board really support you all and all of that. I do want to say that Nisi Carter Owens, it was my family. She's in my family, and I did attend the homegoing celebration for her. It was a great celebration, and they said some really, really nice things about her dedication to Hertford County Public Schools, particularly at Riverview. Said she called all those children her children, even though she never gave birth to any. They were her children, and she was committed and dedicated to them. It was a sad loss. But we are keeping that family in our prayers. The Marsh family, I didn't know the Marshes, but whenever we lose somebody near and dear, certainly prayer helps. So we're praying for the Marsh family, Mr. Solomon and his family. Again, that could have been a whole lot worse. I just heard about that. I didn't know. But we're going to be praying for them as well. I do want to say that last week I was part of that tour at the Hosky Elementary School site, and I was really, really excited. We're coming along great, and Mr. Shields, you're right. To get $21 million for $6 million, that's just a deal of the century. They're coming along great with that. Dr. Wright, again, my hat is off to you as our superintendent. We really do appreciate your leadership. Yeah, I want to say that as we proceed with the restart of the driver's ed program, let's keep all of our students and trainers and just pray that they will stay safe and on the highway, as well as from the hopefully the COVID-19. All of you stay safe and continue to do what you do, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sharon. Happy birthday, Dr. Wright.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you have at least 54 more.
Me too.
I hope you're with us in 54 years. So there you go. I cleared up like that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyway, he's telling me 6 years. So anyway, that's good. The next board meeting is Monday. We're gonna meet at 10. We're going to have the superintendent's evaluation. The reason it's been postponed is because of me, and I apologize for that. And I'm sorry to make you guys have another meeting, but anyway, our next board meeting, our next regularly scheduled board meeting is November the 23rd. I guess the time will be 10 o'clock. And if there's nothing else to come before us, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second it.
Been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. See you Monday.